like Dave Bautista, and although this wasn't planned, this video is actually quite topical because his brand new movie, which is directed by Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead, is out this week, so you should go and watch it if you're into zombie films. But the real reason I get behind Big Dave is that he always speaks his mind. If he has an opinion on something, he throws it out there and he doesn't worry what anybody else thinks. This is true when it comes to wrestling too, and while there are countless occasions where he has been talking about them in the media, he's gone, man, I love WWE, I love them so much. If they do something he thinks a pile of baloney, Dave Bautista, the former multiple-time world champion, a Royal Rumble winner, who knows what else the hell he did, will go, that is absolute shite. I can't believe you've done it. And he recently did this again, where he did indeed take some shots and fire them at World Wrestling Entertainment. Why? Pretend I slapped my head. Here's why. It all went down on Instagram, which is why I got my phone, and it makes it even better because it's like 2021 spats. But after Batista saw a video of Rhea Ripley pinning Asuka on a recent episode of Raw, he said, seriously? Jobbing out Asuka? Then he did that eye-rolling emoji thingamajig before finishing off with WTF. When we know what that means, it means what the fiddlesticks. And I would love it if more former superstars spoke out like this, because 9 times out of 10, they do echo the sentiments of the fans, although they have more sway because they can probably text someone and say, well, I've just seen this, it's a pile of crap. Now, of course, that's not going to sway WWE's booking. They're not going to go, oh no, Batista doesn't like our angle, so we'll change it. But I'd like to know that it's out there in the world. Because let's face it, it is a WTF situation. I mean, ever since Asuka won the Raw Women's Championship last year, her feuds have basically been non-existent. And even when she did get put in one, e.g. Rhea Ripley, as we led to WrestleMania 37, that was rushed as well, because it wasn't even meant to happen. We were going to do Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans, and we all know what happened with that. So the fact that she did lose this championship at the show of shows, and then continues to lose on Raw, well, if you do appreciate her as a really good wrestler, you may see a social media post and say, what the flub. I am recording this before WrestleMania Backlash, and I do presume she will be the one to take the pin, and she's now actually fallen into this role where she is so good at what she does, and she has so much talent that powers that be know, hey, we can put her in any kind of position that we want to, and she will find a way to make it good. And given that there are no long-term plans, especially when it comes to the Monday night show, well, that doesn't end well at all. So that's why when the animal talks out, you should listen, because he knows how it works backstage. He was very successful in WWE, and he knows good wrestling when he sees good wrestlers. It doesn't stop there either when it comes to shots being fired, because if we go back to 2014, when Batista was about to make his big return, and before he became Blue-tista or Boo-tista, he was telling management, bring me back as a heel, trust me, I know what kind of reaction I'm going to get. They laughed at him like, ha ha ha, Batista, you silly little child, that's not going to happen. And then Batista did come back at the Royal Rumble, and everybody booed him because this was the era of Daniel Bryan. And if you weren't Daniel Bryan, everybody hated you. Furthermore, going back to Twitter, so the phone returns, when the Hurt Business was split up a few months ago, Batista did do a tweet where he said, who, and he wrote it in all caps, in their right mind would break up the Hurt Business already? Answer, no one, and that was in caps as well. Then he did that funny little shrug emoji, and he even hashtagged it SMFH and bad for business. Bad for business. Now really that was probably just meant as a wordplay on the name The Hurt Business, but he was 100% right, it was a dumb decision, and do not look over or look past the fact that he smacked his fiddlestick's head. I mean, it's not wrong, is he? It was bewildering why we did this, which is why there is so much satisfaction in seeing someone like Batista pull out his shots fired gun from his pants and pull the trigger. And yes, I know I did it on purpose. That was a pun based on how big is Batista's so-and-so. I'm an 8-year-old child. This isn't anything new either, because if we get in our time machines and transport ourselves back to 2011, when Batista was on a hiatus from WWE as he was training to be an MMA fighter, he did an interview with the UK newspaper known as the Daily Star, and when he was asked about the current product and the PG era, once again, he was just so damn truthful. Because this is what he said, and I quote, "It's sad, it's not their fault. These guys these days have their hands tied. They're so limited in what they can do. The difference is that guys like Rock, Austin, Triple H, they had to have the living tar beat out of them to get where they are. They went through the war and the audience knows it and the audience appreciates it. The good guys today will never get to that level. It's sad, but there's the reason for it. Love me or hate me, when I was there, everyone took one look at me and knew I could beat someone up. And here's the real kicker. I don't think they look at The Miz that way. Boom. Now, I'm not 100% sure I agree with that last point, because it all depends on how your character is presented and how your character is allowed to perform within the squared circle. But this was going down in 2011 when everybody saw Batista as a main eventer and he just let fly. And once again, if you kind of look at the product now, well, he may have had a point. And it's not like he reserves this just for the world of wrestling either. When he was talking to the Tampa Bay News a couple of years ago and the subject of acting came up, well, I gotta go get my phone again. Because Dave said, The Rock and John Cena are wrestlers who became movie stars. I'm something else. I was a wrestler. Now I'm an actor. Rock was, in a way, a movie star before he even was a movie star. There is something about him that's really special. I'd never take that away from him. Would I consider him a great actor? F no, but he said the word and I can't say it here. I want good roles. I don't care about Fast and Furious or Bumblebee. That's not the kind of stardom I want. I mean, this guy. To be fair, he has been true to his word, because he's taken on a bunch of really interesting roles instead of, I'm going to stand here when an explosion goes off, although I'd like to see him do that too. And just for more evidence, when Titus O'Neil got his ass kicked after he put his hands on Vince McMahon back in 2016, Batista went on the internet and said, this is absolutely terrible, it's a joke. Titus, you should get out of there, because you're too good for the company. And he went after Stephanie McMahon when she was talking about how the slap was her finisher, where he kind of joked, oh yeah, because you were able to get your comeuppance after that. Oh no, you weren't. Nobody was allowed to drag you down. He don't care at all. So essentially, yes, this just has been one massive advert about why you should follow Dave Bautista on social media like Instagram and Twitter, and I stand by that. And also, you should check out some of his films, some of the characters he plays. You won't believe it. He has clearly taken to that craft and is trying to carve out a new career, and I think he's gonna do pretty damn well. Right, yes, I'm back. I'm in different clothes because I forgot to tell you the best story when it comes to Batista and firing shots. Because back in the day, he fell out and had a fight with Booker T, when once again he was just saying whatever the hell he wanted. Because Batista had just moved brands and was desperate for new opponents, and Booker T overheard him talking to another wrestler who has never been named, saying, oh man, can you try and get the switch over here, please? I don't have any challengers. And the book was like, wait a minute, I'm right here. Are you saying I'm nutting? Because I'm not. This was happening at a WWE photo shoot too, and they then got into it, and they had a fight. And as Kurt Angle revealed on his podcast recently, not only did one of them have a black eye, but when you looked at both of them, it was like, well, they've definitely been in a fight. They made up soon afterwards, of course, but it just ties into everything we have been talking about today. Dave Bautista, if he feels something and if he believes in something, will just shout it out no matter who may hear or no matter who is around him. And I think we could all learn a lesson from that, but maybe do it in a better way. I don't want you to get in fisticuffs with anyone. I will add in that if you do Google this, a lot of the rumors and a lot of the murmurings were that Booker T absolutely whipped his ass. And I'd love to see that, because this was like 2006 Batista, who looked like he was carved out of stone. But it just goes to show, it doesn't matter how big you are, if somebody else knows how to fight, you gonna go down. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about Dave Bautista, and of course, how much you love him. That's all this video is about. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com where you can read yourself a bunch of articles. Make sure you come follow us on social media, and then follow Big Dave. Also, make sure you click a box that's around my head, give it a click, and you will watch another video. My name is Simon for What Culture. Thank you for joining me as always. You take care of yourself, take care of each other. Make sure you send love around the world, and maybe one day it will come back round and smack you in the face, and then you'll feel the love. Don't know what that means. I'll see you soon.